if you're somebody who's struggling reaching your health and fitness goals because balancing between kids, school, work, family, obligations, all that stuff is tough for you, and you're wanting to find a way and system that can help you lose the weight and keep it off long term, I've got a training for you that literally in the next 27 minutes, I'm going to share with you the exact process that I use to get all these people bomb results using what's called the hierarchy body transformation. I'm going to give you real world examples, real numbers, real math, science, all of that, so that you can start working on your dream body as early as today. So if that's you, let me hurry and share my screen so we can get the ball rolling. All right, so now let's dive into the training. Today we're going to cover step by step on creating the body of your dreams, aka lose 20 plus pounds, keep it off, even if you feel like your metabolism is completely busted and broken. Now, goal today is we're going to share with you the framework that I use, that I spent 14 years and $500,000 developing to get my clients unheard of results. I'm going to share with you everything. I'm not holding anything back. So don't be like, oh, there's something here, whatever. I'm just going to share with you exactly what I do. Okay. And at the end, I got something really, really special you're not going to want to miss. I promise. And also don't skip to the end. Okay. Watch the training so you get it in context. I promise it's going to make it worth your time. Okay. Now, to get unheard of results, I'm going to show you how to spend less time to get better results without starving yourself or sacrificing your firstborn. I'm going to give you literally everything you need to get started on your dream body. And we're going to break some forbidden fat loss rules to lose more fat and keep it off longer. Okay. So what is this training and who is this training not for? This is for somebody who wants and has a lot of time to go to the gym, right? Somebody that can spend an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours doing a long workout and a lot of cardio. Okay. That is not who this is for. So this is not going to have any of that stuff in here. Now, if you can do that, more power to you. You might be able to take some of this stuff, but it's not going to be to your biggest benefit. Okay. This is also for somebody who doesn't have a lot of time just sitting around. Okay. If you have time to sit there and doom scroll through the TikTok and the Facebook and the Instagram and watch YouTube video after YouTube video all day, this is not for you. If you're somebody who keeps up with the latest trends of gossip and I don't know what's out right now, because clear this ain't me. Okay. But those things, if you're able to do all that, that has a lot of time, you're just wasting time. You should probably go focus on your health. Okay, this is also not for people that are kind of wishy-washy on what they want to do. Are you trying to lose weight? Are you not? Are you committed or not committed? Okay, because if you're not committed towards your health, guess what? We're committed towards our disease. And so if you're unsure, it's likely because you're committed to something else. It ain't the results you're looking for. Okay, so if you're not sure about, if you're trying to lose weight, want to be healthy, all these things, hey, just stop this. If you got tons of time to exercise, stop this. If you have tons of time to exercise, but you're committed to not doing it, and you're like, I have no time, I'm so busy, it ain't for you. Okay, get on out of here. It's not who this is going to work for. This is who it's for. This is for somebody who's pretty busy, who's having a hard time balancing work, life, business, relationship, health, religion, all these things, who feels probably like I did, who at work, I wanted to be at home. At home, I wanted to be at the gym. At the gym, I wanted to be at work. I couldn't find, anywhere I went, I felt like I shouldn't be there. I couldn't find the balance. And I felt like even when I was at home, I wasn't present because my health and my body were not at the place where I felt great at. Also, if you're somebody who has kids that are trying to move them and take them and shuttle them places. We got kids in competition dance. They are there every single freaking day for 3-4 hours every single day. And getting them back and forth and trying to find time in between, very challenging. And we're here for somebody that wants to be healthy. That wants to have a life that is full of health, happiness, and joy. And being able to have life, live it to its fullest with full fulfillment. Not having anything left behind. Not I wish I could have, would-has. No. We want people to live an expansive, long, healthy life. Reason being is that I've been in your shoes. I've been exactly where you are. Having the hard time between balancing being at work and kids and all these sorts of things, despite the fact that I owned a gym. And I got into the gym business, not because I'm a gym bro, but because I want people to live long, healthy lives. My dad actually passed away at 37 of a heart attack. And it freaking sucks. And I know with 100% certainty, if we know what we know now and we can make differences in what we're doing as far as our process goes and our eating habits, he would still be alive today. Like, I know that. And it's so painful to know that if I could have, would have, should have now, then, at 7, I guess, that we could have done something. The reality is you can't. And so instead of me going, shoulda, coulda, woulda, I'm in here to tell you and teach you how it could never, ever happen to you. Fair? But again, I'm a lot like you. Busy. Highly involved in my kids' dance stuff. This is us doing a turkey trot, or a little, yeah, I believe this is a turkey trot. Uh, this is me doing the dad dance in my daughter's old dance studio. This is me running around playing with our kids, pushing them in a little cart and jumping over stuff. Look at it, jump! Super sick, right? Also, really heavily involved in church. We go to church almost every Sunday. We love it. I'm a Christian, and so if that's you and you're in the Mesa, Arizona area or don't have a church home, Generation Church is an amazing church. Okay, Bible-believing church, which is phenomenal. Okay, I obviously run this business, help tons of people lose weight and keep it off. And also, I'm really heavily involved with my kids, right? Because I want to be available for all of it. And so I'm able to, and then with the framework I'm going to teach you today, I'm able to do all of these things, have a body that works, continue to get stronger, super duper fit, has no problems, and quite honestly is not going to have any problems probably for my whole life. And not because I'm lucky, but because I just put in the right amount of effort at the right places. And the likelihood, like, you just might not know that yet, right? And so I took what I've known from that, used it on myself with some other coaching and things. And I've developed a system that works incredibly well. That was me at a very, very light 142 pounds, really, really small. And so what we've done is I've taken the things and used it for, when I got down to that weight, I was like, I'm kind of uncomfortable. And so for the last 2 years or so, I've been trying to pack on a little bit of muscle. And so now is the time for me to kind of slice and dice it away. And I'm going to show you the process that I've used for myself and some other people. But I didn't just use this for me. This wasn't something that I just took and was like, oh, look at how cool I am. This stuff I've used with hundreds of other people that are just like you. Look at Katie. Katie was somebody who 1 year between those pictures, she went from sitting down with the socks on, watching her kids, to jumping on the trampoline. Look at Crystal. Crystal went from wearing what she would call camouflage clothing to now being able to wear the two-piece and wear the tight-fitting clothes and not feel uncomfortable. Kelsey started when her dad had a stroke. And she was looking at what her dad was doing. She's like, I'm doing the same thing that he's doing. She went on to lose 40-something pounds. We got Amanda, Hillary, and Kirsten. Kirsten's in her 60s. Bottom left. Look at, you can see her obliques and her abs coming in her 60s. Are you kidding me? But I don't just train women, I train men too. We've had great success in all of them. David has done Spartan races with me. Alex lost 70 pounds. B, he lost about 40 pounds in give or take 6 months. Steve and Dylan, they've been crushing it. Absolutely. Dylan lost 60 pounds in 6 months too. So this is something you can use despite having all of them, every single one of them, having kids, having full-time careers, having a spouse, and needing to be able to balance everything. And so what I came up with something called the Dream Body Recipe. Okay. And the Dream Body Recipe has 4 main ingredients with one overarching standpoint of understanding of what you want your end goal to be. Because there's different recipes of this dream body to fit the goal and outcome that you want. If you're somebody who wants to look like an action figure or somebody who wants to be healthy, drastically different. So I've got 3 examples. I got me here on the far right, Michael here, and then we're going to call her Susan. Okay, Susan's recipe came out from a book of just, hey, I just want to be healthy. I just don't want to have disease. I want to be able to live a long, healthy life. And I don't really necessarily care about running the 5K or doing a Spartan race or doing a triathlon or whatever. I just want to be healthy, want to be fit, want to be able to do things with my kids and be there for them in the long term. Michael did Ironmans and he wants to improve on his Ironmans. You might be like, at that size, I said the same thing, but he absolutely crushed it. Absolutely crushes it. Okay, and get a handle on his emotional eating. And then for me, I just want to do Spartan races. I want to look like an action figure. I want to look like, when people look at me, they go, you are in the fitness industry. That makes perfect sense. Okay? And so each of us have different recipes based on that sort of outcome that we're looking for. But all of them contain the same exact ingredients, just in varying amounts. Okay, first recipe ingredient we have is fitness. Now, what we're going to start with, this is just for a beginner. So I'm assuming by you watching this, you're probably in the beginner stage. That you're somebody who's like, I just really don't know where to start, where to begin. Here you are. First thing you do, we need to find out where you are. So here's an assessment you can do. Push-ups, sit-ups, squats. You do a minute of each, followed by a minute of rest. Doing them on your toes or your knees. Doing sit-ups with your foot hooks or not. And doing squats body weight all the way down, as in your butt gets below your knees every single time. Count how many you can do in a minute. You're going to keep track of this because every 6 weeks you're going to reassess and see how well you're doing. See how you're progressing and see what kind of things you need to do in your regimen to make them better. Okay. Then you're going to repeat the bottom portion of this workout for 15 minutes, as many times as you can get through this workout. 20 jumping jacks, 15 mountain climbers, 10 lunges each leg. As soon as you're done with the lunges, you go right back to the jumping jacks, getting as many rounds as you can in 15 minutes. When you start doing exercise, we're going to want to track your progress. How are you doing in your strength? How are you doing in your conditioning? Do we need to do more conditioning? Do we need to do strength? Okay. Then what we find is most people in the beginning, they need a very simple, basic strength regimen to get started. So here's what I do. You're going to work out 3 to 4 times per week, following these 6 different movements every single workout. You're going to do something that pushes weight away from you. You're going to do something that pulls weight towards you. You're going to do something where you squat down, and something where you hinge and/or. Okay? You can do something that's a core movement, meaning a crunch, an extension, or a twist, or stopping one of those things. So like a plank, it's a core resistant. You're trying not to have your back do this. Like while you're holding a plank, you're not having your back do this. So you have to crunch your abs to make your back stay flat. Okay? And an accessory, think of it like where just one joint moves around. A joint is like my elbow joint, my shoulder joint. But notice my elbow is not doing anything. Same with my wrist. It's not doing anything. Just my shoulders wiggling around. Hip. Hip. Just my leg is moving. Just my knee. Just my knee is wiggling around. Those things are accessory movements. Okay? If you're looking to build strength, because let's say you can only do 3 push-ups, cool. You're going to do 4 to 5 sets, 4 to 5 repetitions of each of those things, making it very challenging. If you're trying to build muscle, if you're trying to get bigger, like when I was really, really small, wanting to get bigger, I'm going to do 4 to 5 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions until I can't do it anymore. Literally lift the weight until I can't lift it. So a beginner fitness program looks something like this. Chest press, seated row, goblet squat, leg lift, while on your back, lifting your legs up, bicep curl and calf raise. Screenshot this. These are all common nomenclature for movements. You can look them up online on what they do and how they look and how to do proper form. Okay. Next is NEAT. Okay. NEAT stands for non-exercise active thermogenesis. Basically, are you busy or are you active? Are you busy sitting down all day? Or are you busy being active? A prime example of this is that I pick up my kids Tuesdays and Thursdays from school. Okay. My wife, and sometimes Friday. My wife picks them up on the other days. And so at the line at school, some parents are there like 30 minutes early. I'm not throwing shade at them, but hear me out. They're there like 30 minutes early because I get there 30 minutes early. But instead of me just sitting in my car on my phone, I go for a run. I go walk at the park. I go do something. Because during that time, I could sit and do nothing, or I could and do something. I could be active to some degree. And that's a major role in your fat loss. I'll show you later. I'll show you literally the literal math of that difference. Within your lifestyle and responsibilities, how can you be more active? As a prime example, how many videos do you see online of people sitting down when they're doing the videos? A lot, right? I could sit down too, but I'm standing. As you saw in the beginning, my bag is on my chair. That's what holds my bag. Next is fuel. Now, check this out. Fuel, we can assume from 3 numbers and get really, really close to the ballpark. Okay, and this is where we're going to break a couple rules of fat loss. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what to eat, show you how to eat, all that stuff. That's not for this, because again, you'll know why in just a second. Okay, Food comes from knowing three numbers. There's really a fourth, but we're going to go with three for right now. Okay. First one is basal metabolic rate. This is the calories burned from just you staying alive. This is from a simple calculation online based on height, weight, age, sex, and body composition, aka what your body fat percentage is. Okay. And so notice they're all different because we're all different sizes and shapes of people. Okay. So when somebody says, here's a plan, just do this, it's even going to get murkier than that, because NEAT is another one. NEAT stands for the non-exercise after thermogenesis. Notice Susan here is only burning 300 calories from that, whereas I'm burning 500 and Michael's burning 7. Why is this? Well, Michael trains for Ironmans. He's doing a ton of activity, whereas I'm being active, but I'm mostly just standing and like doing some running here and there. He runs every single day. And then Susan is a teacher, so she's walking the class, but even then she has a lot of shuttling of kids and things that she can't walk around as much as I am. That's fine. That's the recipe that we have to work with. Okay, and then fitness. Notice she doesn't have a lot of time. She's a mom of a bunch of kids, is heavily involved in church, and has church duties that she's doing on a weekly basis, whereas I just attend church. I go to my school, my daughter's dance, and I go to school and things, but it's not as intense. Whereas Michael, although he has a kid, he has 2 kids, I think, actually. 2 kids. Wife stays at home. So she doesn't work. He works. He's able to do a lot more things as far as that area is concerned, because a lot of stuff is done outside of, with his young kids that aren't involved in things yet. There's not much commitment in outside of work and fitness that he has besides his kids and taking care of them. He's a great father. I'm not trying to paint him anything less, okay? But because he's also just their situation and what he has and his relationship allows for, okay? So notice all the different changes here. So as a good example, if all of us were to lose 1 pound of fat per week, these are the amounts of food we get to eat. Pretty wild. So when it comes to Michael, if he wanted to lose weight, should he be eating salads with like a bunch of vegetables in them? No, that's dumb. You have to eat so much food. It would make more sense to have like pasta and rice and peanut butter and dressing with calories, whole fat stuff. Whereas for Susan has less calories to work with. So her food, although it looks more diety, just fits the realm that's going to make her body do the things you want it to do. And where I'm kind of in the middle. I need to have some vegetables to fit in my calories for the day, but also have that little bit of a ability to have a little bit more food on certain days, or more food in certain times, because I could eat 2,100 calories and still lose the same amount of fat. This has nothing to do with being a man or a woman. This has nothing to do with metabolism being broken or not. This simply has to do with math and numbers, okay? And so the last piece is function. That's the big one. Function is how you relate to your environment. And so these are things like processes you need to put in place so that the weight comes off and stays off. As an example, scheduling workouts, scheduling when you're planning meals, getting food delivered. Boundaries, huge one. Blind spots, knowing what you don't know and not knowing how to find it. That's like all of us are a giant eyeball and you can't see right here. But if I'm looking at you, I can see what's going on. It's just we're following our own written software. We don't even understand what we're doing. And so finding ways to work through some of these barriers that are slowing you down is the thing that not only makes you lose weight, but keeping weight off. It's a prime example. Michael used to believe that eating carbohydrates, and this is a common one, carbohydrates makes you fat. And after a quick little discussion and him being really, really starving and then having a little bit extra on the weekends when he's so hungry, we found that was the problem, is that he believes that when you eat carbohydrates, it makes you fat, but in doing so, he would consistently undereat on food because he just didn't want to eat carbohydrates, and he'd eat massive salads. And it wasn't until I was like, hey, Michael, man, here's what happens when you eat carbohydrates. Carbohydrates go into the blood. Blood brings it to the powerhouse of the cell. Powerhouse of the cell says we're full. Muscles say we're full. Liver say we're full. It then goes to the fat cell, stores 85% of it in the form of, or 75% of it in the form of fat. But let me ask you this. If more fat is leaving than entering the cell, are you losing fat? Yes or no? So for every 1 fat that comes in, 3 comes out. Are you going to keep doing that every single time? The answer is yes, of course. Obviously, right? Because if 1 comes in and 3 comes out, how many times would you do that to eventually all of the fat leaving until it all leaves, right? And so we said, hey, on the weekends, what's happening? Or on the weekdays, what's happening is 1 comes in, 7 leaves. But on the weekends, what happens is 7 comes in, nobody leaves. Nobody. And so you're taking 3 steps forward during the week and 2 steps back, making it feel like you're not getting any progress. So eat carbohydrates during the week. Promise. It's not going to make you fat. And when he did that, then this is what happened next. Dang. Holy smokes. Susan lost her stomach, discovered she had a Coke bottle body. Michael went from doing Ironmans in good time to Ironmans in fantastic times. He did a 50-mile race averaging 8-minute miles. Crazy. And then obviously following the process, I lost a whole bunch of fat. Okay? And so, question for you is you. Here's a couple ways you can play this game. There's 2 options. You are either lacking time or you are lacking money. Time and money. Now, I've literally shown you everything you need to know. But here's the reality. If you feel like you're lacking time, what you're going to have to do is you're going to be the mouse in the maze trying to get to the cheese. Trial and erroring your way in hopes that you can find the scent and get to it before you give up. Before it gets to a point where you're like, I don't even want the cheese anymore. I guess I'm not meant to have the cheese. My body likes staying at this weight. These sort of things. Because beyond all these things, here's the underlying things you're going to have to learn. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of this. Okay? But find the sweet spot for fitness, how to adjust your workouts, understanding overload, how to warm up, how to cool down, how to personalize movements to fit your current fitness level, treating injury, mobilizing, deload, understanding CNS control, improving your VO2 max, increasing your lactate threshold, and injury prevention. In fuel, in nutrition, you're going to have to understand macros, calories, how the metabolic restoration process works, the ratio between certain foods in your body, aka foods that cause inflammation, right? Finding inflammatory foods, restoring your gut flora, how to meal prep, how to meal plan, how to hit your targets, how much protein to eat, how much carbohydrates and fats, when necessary to eat, how to eat on holidays, how to eat on vacation, how to not let certain times in your life completely throw off your complete nutrition system. In function, you're going to have to figure out priority, stress, dichotomy, as in I did the best with what I could. It feels like I had this option or this option. But really, there's a third option almost every time. But finding that third option and understanding what it means. Belief, asking better questions. Want versus don't want instead of good versus bad, instead of can't and can't have. The word cheat or binge day. Okay. Intention behind what we're doing is more important than why we're doing it. Involving and getting rid of the perfectionist mentality. Stories, process implementation, breaking anchors, fear, all or nothing mentality. Finding blind spots, aka things you don't know you can't see that you don't know you can't see. You have to find these things. Screenshot this. Look them up. Okay. Or, and there's more, obviously, because I didn't want to put it in my hands. Okay. If you feel like, all right, I don't lack money, I lack time. What you can do instead is you join the Trailblazer Fitness Academy, where instead of you being a mouse in a maze, you can be blindfolded with a radio, and I can be a helicopter. And just go, turn left, keep going straight, turn right, turn left, and I can get you the exact steps that you need from where you are now to where you want to go. Eliminating the having to trial and error your way, starting back at the beginning in hopes that you can make it through and get to the body you want. Because unlike most things, your health and fitness is one of those things you can't skimp on. When you have your health, when you don't have your health, you've got nothing. Got no job, got no confidence. You got a big old hole in your wallet from medications, stress, anger, fear, depression, anxiety. Every time you go to the doctor, it's a hope that things are working and I'm going to have him talk to me about my weight again and it's not going to be good. And he said, last time I'm going to have to be on pills if I don't do something about it. I did something, I just don't know what to do. I've got all these things I should do. I don't know what to do. Giving you the exact steps the exact steps to go from where you are, stuck, plateaued, low energy, out of balance, undisciplined, to in control, powerful, energized, and confident again. And when you click the link below, select a time, mention that you watched this video, okay? And the first 5 people that do this is what you're gonna get. Actually, it's 3, my bad. Somebody was supposed to be 5, 2 people joined. It was gonna be 2, and then somebody just didn't show up to the call today. So 3 left, 3 spots left. First one is I'm gonna plan your meals for your first month. Okay, now in my program too, just so we're full disclosure, I don't do all the planning and stuff for you forever. That means you will be relying upon me forever for your goals. And do you want to be the person that's constantly tied to my hip, hoping that maybe one day like you'll learn it by proxy? Or would you rather me teach you how to do the whole thing? Probably teach you. So I'll teach you how to do the whole thing. Next, I'm gonna send you some exercise equipment sent right to your house, even if you belong to a gym. So that way, when you travel, when the gym's closed, when you don't feel like going, when you can't go, when it's easier to get it done at home, all the workouts I'm going to send you, I'll show you how to use with the equipment I send to your house. So hashtag team no excuses, okay? And then a fat loss supplement starter kit. Okay, it's a nice little soft cleanse, nothing that blows the back of your toilet out. Hormone balance and stress relief supplement so that we can kind of get your body started in the path of healing, of less stress, hormones being made and balanced in the right order so that we have less hiccups. $800 worth of bonuses for the first 3 people that mention that you've watched this video. Okay, it's only this because I wish I could do it for every single person that joins, but planning your meals and scheduling it and all that stuff takes quite a bit of time. Okay, so with that being said, click the link down below and we can see together how the Trailblazer Fitness Academy can help you lose weight and keep it off for good. That's it from me. Have a freaking fantastic day. Look forward to hearing from you in my schedule. If you're somebody who is lacking time instead of finances, or if you're lacking finances instead of time, you got a plethora of time, probably didn't make it through this whole call. I mean, maybe you did, but probably didn't make it through because, quite honestly, it's not for you. That being said, talk to you later.